Thank you for listening to MTBC Telling Our Stories. These are the people here at Mount Tabor Baptist Church sharing their story, sharing their experiencing of coming to know Jesus and how he has walked with them through their life. We hope that you would be encouraged. We hope that these stories would point you to Jesus and also open our eyes to see how he's worked in our lives, and that it would encourage us to share our stories with others that we come across with. We pray that these stories would encourage you to share your story with someone that you meet today. And so listen and be encouraged. And thank you again. Welcome back to another MTBC Telling Our Stories. Today we have Eric Brown sitting down with us to share his story. Eric, I appreciate you being here, taking time out of your busy day. He was just telling me all the things he did today. You got a lot done today, actually, and the day's only halfway through. So congratulations on that. That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Before we really get into your story of what Jesus has done in your life, I'd like you to share just a picture of who you are, so whoever's listening or watching can see like who is Eric Brown. So share whatever you like about yourself.
All right, I was born right down the road here, off Mount Tabor Road on Centerville, and I grew up in the church. My dad, I think, pretty much been here his whole life with his mom, Cynthia Brown, which everybody here knows, and so him and my mom, they've been bringing me and my sister here our whole childhood, and then when my sister moved to Atlanta, and that kind of so she quit going here. I don't know, that's probably about 2020, 2021, something like that. But then I stuck around, so, no plans and changing that where I'm going to church. So
Hmm.
I love it here and I love the people. Um, Went to Pendleton High School, played some sports and some clubs, fishing club, yearbook. That was what my sister got me into. And yeah, played basketball, a little bit of football. And yeah, I loved high school. It was fun. Had a bunch of good friends that I'm still close with today.
Hmm.
Um, Went through, I guess it was about 4 years of youth group until you got here.
Hmm.
And then that would have been my junior year of high school. And that was really fun. A lot of my friends started coming around then. And I feel like that was one of the best times I had at the church was with that group of people.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's how I'm involved in the church as a kid. But um, now me and my wife we got married in 2024.
Hmm.
Well, me and you know that we got married in 2023.
Hmm.
Um, but then we had our wedding in 2024. So most people don't know that, but it's not a secret. It was just something we did in private.
Hmm.
But yeah, so we got married and we started teaching Sunday school for the young kids. I think it's like first grade through fifth, I think.
Hmm.
So we've enjoyed that, and we're on the special events committee. Um, yeah, I guess that's really the main
We all
couple things
recently
we.
just started something new,
What'd we start?
singing in the choir.
Oh yeah, singing in the choir. I was on security for a little bit. Um, you know, we enjoy it, and we like being around the kids,
Yeah.
and that that was a lot of what got me to where I am today.
Mm.
Is the volunteers that were teaching Sunday school, and just the role models to look up to in the church.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I'd like to be that for a lot of these young kids. I know when I had Sunday school, we had it was Brian Gambrell and Jim Kay
Okay.
for the longest time. You probably never met Jim.
I don't think so.
He probably passed away a couple years before you got here. Him and Shelby, and yeah. So I just they meant a lot to me, and they helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a bunch more other men and women that contributed to that, but those were just my Sunday school teachers, and I saw that, and I'd like to be that for those kids,
Yeah.
and yeah, so we enjoy that, and
Yeah.
we love it here, and
Yeah, that's an awesome picture of, I guess, the cycle of the church, that you get raised up with awesome Sunday school teachers and you want to do the same and pour into the next generation.
yeah.
That's awesome. What about hobbies and things like that?
Oh yeah, do a lot of hunting, a lot
Mhm.
of fishing. Really growing up, but kind of I guess since I moved out and I don't have access to a boat, I don't go as much anymore.
Mm.
Um, I mean, he'd still take me, but you know,
Yeah.
it's just a little inconvenient. So we do. I do a lot of hunting. Um, I've done that since I was probably in the sixth grade, so
Hmm.
like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, play about any sport you could try out. I've probably tried it.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I probably have too many hobbies. Me and my wife got into chickens within the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Thanks to our friends getting us into it, and yeah, somebody at work told me the other day. Yeah, my wife told me I need to get a hobby. I was getting on her nerves, and I thought, man, that's the last thing Emma would tell me.
Yeah.
I need less hobbies. So.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's if there's anything out there to try, I'll try it. But bowling, I got into bowling for a while. That was
Hmm.
fun. Yeah, I hadn't tried the disc golf yet though.
No, we'll have to go. I'll have to get you hooked on that as the
No,
next thing.
I don't need to.
Don't need to invest in something else.
Negative. I wouldn't
That's
have
awesome.
anywhere to even put a disc right now.
Yeah.
We are packed full.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's a good picture of who you are. So you talked about the influence of Sunday school teachers and where you are today. Do you mind go ahead and sharing your story of how you came to know Jesus and what that looked like?
Yeah, so I mean, basically, I didn't have any other choice but to hear the word of God. I still could have chose not to listen, but my parents were going to make sure that I heard it.
Hmm.
And so it was preacher Danny Gray. He was the pastor through majority of my childhood, probably up until maybe this middle school. So that would have been like 2013, something like that.
Hmm.
I guess so. I graduated 2019. So yeah, so Pastor Danny Gray, um, he was preaching, and I was young, so I don't really remember a whole lot about his style of preaching other than he was very serious.
Hmm.
Um, he was very to the point, and he wanted you to understand what he was saying. He didn't
Hmm.
want it to be like misconstrued or misunderstood.
Hmm.
He was to the point, and but so basically, growing up in the church all the time, I was surrounded by it, and we did the devotions at home with my parents every night or most nights. Um, and I think the day I think it was a couple weeks I was kind of feeling led to
Hmm.
get saved. I think it was 2 weeks in a row. I was probably in the fifth or sixth grade, probably fifth grade, maybe fourth grade. I really don't remember the exact day,
Hmm.
but yeah, I just kind of been thinking about it for like a whole week.
Hmm.
I remember thinking about it on the way. We always ate lunch with my grandparents out
Hmm.
off Liberty Highway, and it's about a 20-minute drive. And I remember thinking about it the whole way there. And then, I didn't really know exactly what I was feeling, but I felt something, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I think the exact words that somebody said in our Sunday school class was, if you were to die on the way home today, do you know where you would go?
Hmm.
And I guess I never really thought about it a whole lot,
Hmm.
and so I was just thinking about that. And then the next week came back to church, and it kind of got brought up again, how to be saved and what it meant.
Hmm.
And same thing in the car. I just started praying about it, and
Hmm.
prayed about it a little more when I got home. And I guess it was, I told my parents, and they told me to talk to Preacher Gray, and he laid out a drawing for me.
Mm.
It was basically it was like a canyon. So you got land over here and land over here. And he said, "This is you on the side." He drew a little stick figure. He said, and I think he did this with most young men and women that were learning how to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "This is heaven. Do you know how to get there?" And I said, "Yeah, I need to be saved." And he said, "Do you know how?" And I don't remember my exact response, but he then drew a cross connecting the two pieces of land.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "The only way is through God." And I'm sure he explained it a lot further in detail at the time, but that was the main point of it. He said, "There's only one way, and it's through the cross."
Mm-hmm.
And he made sure I knew what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew what I was getting into. And I guess I was baptized not long after that, and
Yeah.
ever since then, it's. I mean, yeah, there's been times where I've probably been led astray, just different friend groups and sports, taking over and hobbies taking over. But since then, I'm proud to say that I've been pretty involved in the church and in the religion, and I followed him, and I haven't really strayed too far from the path, you know, too far.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean it's been an awesome life I've had. I've been really blessed, and that was a big turning point in my life when I made that decision and talked to Preacher Gray.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was a great guy. He really helped me understand
Mm-hmm.
the process of what I was doing.
Yeah. He made the gospel simple to you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that speaks volumes right there. I think
Yep.
the gospel is simple.
I think I said I've been involved, and it's been pretty straightforward living life as a Christian. And I give all the credit really um, to God, obviously, but just to the church, man. I mean, coming in here, it's not that I feel like people are judging me, but I feel like I need to uphold uh, a certain like image of like I need to make these people proud.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they put a lot into the church. All these people around my parents' age and older and younger, they've done so much for this church to help us succeed and help us grow and get through hard times. That that if I don't start doing what they were doing,
Mm-hmm.
then that other kid or that other visitor isn't going to be as lucky to get the experience I did.
Yeah.
And so I really I'm very appreciative of everybody in the church that's kind of instilled in me the willingness to serve
Mm-hmm.
and just do stuff. And you don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to get up there and preach
Mm-hmm.
but you got to be there for people and set a good example.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I try and do.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Be willing to do what the Lord asks and yeah, serve. I think you hit something very key about the church. You didn't talk about the brick building we got over here. You talked about the people.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's what the church is.
yeah, yeah. That's man, that's you know, not that we were ever thinking about leaving, but obviously when we got married, there was a conversation. We got a bunch of friends at another church down the road,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just kind of talking about it. That would be pretty fun. We really get along with all these people, and I hunt with them, and I play ball with them, and it'd be really fun to go over there and see them every Sunday. But it's just the people here and it being home. We just couldn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even really that big of a thought. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like, nah, we ain't
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah.
There's so many good people here that I love to be around. So
Yeah. It's been really cool to watch Emma, your wife. I don't know if I think you said at the beginning, her kind of being folded into the family here too, when y'all started dating and then engaged and marriage and everything like that, how she's kind of been just brought into the fold and how people have loved her too.
yeah,
So,
yeah, man, that's awesome. I love all the women that will brought her in as soon as she started coming here, especially when we got married. It was like they knew her
mhm,
whole life and
mhm,
made her just feel welcome. And it's funny. I don't know if Emma will ever make it on the pod. She's a
Mm,
little nervous, and I don't blame her. Um, but I knew the time was coming. You'd probably ask me, so that's why I didn't really hesitate. I just said, "Yeah, I'll do it," because
yeah.
I figured one day he's gonna ask me. I'd already accepted it. But she when we got married, she liked the church. She did like it, but she didn't really fall in love with it until she started serving. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
yeah.
Um, you start serving, you start doing stuff to make a difference, and it really makes you feel good. And she just said, "Yeah, man, this is home. I
Yeah.
want to stay here." So, just going to church and not talking to anybody and going back home, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, most Sundays we're one of the last people out. That's my favorite part. So
Hmm. Yeah.
making connections with other people up here.
Yeah. Connections. That's the key word right there.
Yeah.
So when you're looking, you kind of mentioned it a little bit. When you're looking back at fifth grade Eric, that comes to know Jesus to, however old you, 20,
24.
24-year-old Eric now, have there been moments in your life from that point on where you say, man, Jesus, I really see his fingerprints in this moment in my life?
Yeah, my whole life, man. I've been so blessed. You know, I, when I was thinking about it before I came up here, there's really only been two things I've ever had to deal with my whole life. Two things.
Hmm.
Number one, my grandma on my mama's side. She struggled with Parkinson's and dementia, and she was at NHC for, gosh, 4.5 years maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and then now my dad's mom, Cynthia, that everybody knows,
Now,
Mimi.
I about to say we got to say the actual
Yeah,
name.
if
You
I
say
say
Cynthia.
Cynthia,
Who's Cynthia?
maybe some of her friends that are around her age know, but a lot of the other people just know Mimi.
Yeah, she's
So
just Mimi to everybody.
yeah, and yeah, so but she's pretty much going through the same stuff, and she's struggling, and you know, other than those two things, man, I've just been blessed,
Yeah.
and I couldn't be more grateful for it. I had great parents, I had a great sister, I met a great wife, had great friends, great people I grew up in the church with my age, and I was just blessed. I mean,
Mhm.
if I failed, it would have been nobody's fault but mine because
Mhm.
I was set up. I was set up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had everything around me for me to succeed and become a Christian and be saved. So if I didn't, I would have had to majorly screw up.
Mhm. Well, you said that you really, you've been blessed. You've had a great life, and that's true. What do you do now when you are watching your grandmother, work through this? How is, God showing up for you now?
I mean, it's tough, but I think just knowing and trying to find peace and knowing that it's temporary.
Mm,
And when my grandma, my Mima is what we called her, when she passed away, you know, I felt the peace a
mhm,
little bit. She's healed and she's in a better place, and that's where she wants to be. Yeah, she'd love her husband to be with her,
mhm,
but she loves where she's at, and so I know that my Mimi is going to feel the same way,
mhm.
and her time will come. It's just not time yet, and but she's struggling, but it's just temporary.
Just
And
temporary.
so I just find peace in that, and
Mhm.
that's about all you can do.
Yeah.
Try and visit her as much as I can, and give her some company.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good encouragement through for anybody going through a tough time. It's temporary. That's a good perspective to have. Through these times and through your life, has there been any scripture or verses from the Bible that have, popped out at certain times, or maybe a life verse that you have?
Yeah. It's one that's really, really hard to live by, but my dad told me about it in, God, probably the seventh grade. I think I had to do a little devotion
Hmm.
for I don't even know what it was called, some type of little group we had going on. And I said, man, I don't know what to do. He said, I don't even think he thought about it. He said, do Ephesians 4. And I was like, well, which part? He said, I think it's 20 something, and so we started reading through it, and I think it's basically 29 through 32, I believe. I
Mm.
don't have it all memorized, but I believe it begins, you know, don't let anything come out of your mouth unclean, something like that, But it just talks about everything that comes out of your mouth is to uplift others.
Mm.
Um, and I can't remember exactly what the last verse is about, but 29 is about uplifting others, and unfoolish talk or unholy talk. I think different translations it says, but just trying to live by that. It's so hard. It's so hard at work. I talk to so many people, but I just try and be a good example of a Christian
Mm.
with everything I say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, be intentional about it,
Yeah.
and because one thing that one thing that kind of stood out to me um, when I started working at Arthrex, I was 19. No, I just turned 20. And there was a guy that started working there. He's a pastor, and I didn't know that at the time, but he's a part-time pastor in Pendleton.
Mm-hmm.
And he just walked up to me one day. He said, "Well, when did you get saved?" And I said, "What?" He said, "When did you get saved, and where do you go to church?" I said, "Well, I was in elementary school, probably the fifth grade. I go to Mount Tabor." He said, "I can tell." I said, "Well, I've never even talked to you."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "But I can just tell by the way you talk to other people." And so that really meant a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I catch myself not talking that way,
Mm-hmm.
I think back to those words he said to me
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Man, I want people to think that of me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not talking the way I should, then they're not going to think that of me."
Mm-hmm.
And most people at work know I'm a Christian. They know I'm involved in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're not involved in church and they see somebody acting, and I'm not up there cussing like a sailor or
Mm-hmm.
anything, but I might get mad at somebody and talk bad about them or whatever. But even that, I don't want people to see that and then relate that to, oh well, he claims to be a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
and so that meant a lot to me when he told me that, and I think back to that all the time, which goes back to the verse that I've always thought about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you do the senior thing, I
Mm-hmm.
believe that was the verse I sent you.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but
Man,
I
I
believe that was the verse I sent you.
you graduated high school a little while ago, so I'd have to scroll back
Yeah,
through the archives
about
on that one.
about 6 or 7 years ago, I guess.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
2019, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's a
thanks to
big thing.
thanks to my dad for showing me that one. Perfect timing too, middle school,
Yeah, that's I feel like the age range from middle school to high school. I mean, really, and truly, all of life. There's just a lot of negative talk and people always talking about other people and
Yeah.
things like that. And so,
Introduced to a lot of new stuff in middle school,
yeah,
just in general.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Um, so someone sitting here now, watching or listening your story, Eric, what is one thing you want them to know about your relationship with Jesus?
Mm. What do I want them to know about my relationship with Jesus? It's the greatest decision I've ever made.
Mm,
Um, he's blessed me in so many different ways. Um, you know, some people might not agree, but I mean, I give it all to him. It's nothing that I did to be in the spot I am, except for choosing
hmm
to follow him. And yeah,
yeah.
just being having him in my life, my whole life, you can just tell it just makes a difference.
hmm
And every time, and I never have any major times where I'm stressed. One time within the past year about a job and everything, but just when you get into prayer with him, man, it's almost just like the noise stops sometimes.
Mm, That's a good way to put it.
And yeah, when it's just you and him, man, it can just give you some peace.
Hmm.
And it did that for me. I was real stressed for a little bit about a job, and but when I would pray, it was like nothing else mattered.
Yeah.
So just being close to him as much as possible has made a big difference in my life and
Hmm.
in the way I act and in our relationship, me and him's relationship. I mean, we try our best to put him at the center of it, not ourselves.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that helps a lot because
Yeah.
a marriage isn't easy. Not saying it's hard, but and then we're struggling. We're not,
Hmm.
but it ain't easy. It's different. It's a lot to adjust to. So
Hmm.
being able to uh, rely on him to guide us through it is awesome
Yeah.
to have him there.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate your heart. I think a lot of people that have grown up in the church is something to think about your story of, all right, I'm in church now. How can I make a difference for the next generation? Where has the Lord placed me that I can, help someone else or help that kid or things like that. So I appreciate your heart, Eric. That's awesome. And it's been cool to watch you from, a junior in high school to where you are now and how the Lord has worked, how he, you know, he led you to your wife and he led you to your job and he's led you to serving and always gives me a little bit of a, I don't know, just a happy heart whenever I walk down the children's wing and it's you and Emma and they're teaching the kids. And I was like, yeah, that was that junior in high school when I got
Yeah.
here. So it was cool. So
Yeah. And I did leave out a pretty big part. I guess I got focused in on my childhood.
mhm,
Um, but no, when you started here, it made a difference in a lot of different things. Not only my life, but I know a lot of others. So I just wanted you to know that
yeah, I appreciate it.
because we're tight,
Mhm,
but I probably never told you how much you mean to me.
yeah,
So I appreciate you a lot,
yeah, yeah.
and everybody that you're around us too.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Love you.
Love you, man.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, before we get to going here, Eric, I appreciate your time, appreciate your heart, and I'm excited to see how your story impacts someone else.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it can.
Yeah. Awesome.